Today we are talking 28 years later. Welcome to Screens in Focus, the podcast where we talk about TV and movies. I'm Diana. Sam is here. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited because we covered 28 days and 28 weeks later, and we're back to cover 28 years later. Since we're talking about a horror film, I want to know, as we're approaching October, what movie are you going to watch to prepare yourself for this season?
I'm going to watch on Disney Plus. There's the new, it's Marvel, but zombies. Shocker there. And I think it's like a 4 episode run. It was originally in the What If, which came out in 2021, I believe. And it's what happened, what if a zombie apocalypse overtakes the world. And it's like, I remember I've seen like previews for it, and it looks like genuinely kind of like scary and tense. So I'm pretty excited.
That is exciting. I don't have Disney Plus anymore.
Oh, okay.
I can't watch it, unfortunately. But I think that I'm going to watch anything Stephen King. That to
Ooh.
me kind of gears me up for the season. I really want to go to the movies and watch The Long Walk, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you.
So I wanted to watch it this weekend. We didn't get a chance, but hopefully before the next week comes, I'll be able to check that out. I know that Monkey or The Monkey's out also streaming somewhere, and I haven't been able to see that.
Hulu.
Is it Hulu? Yeah.
I think so. That's the one with Theo James. It's like the
Yes.
monkey's paw.
Yeah.
It looks like it's like a dark, like a comedy,
Comedy.
which I'm
Yeah.
excited for. And I love Theo James. He's been in he was in The Gentleman, which he's great in that. I'll have to
Yeah.
watch that too. Add
Yeah.
that to my list.
I know, right? And then we'll reconnect. Who knows? Everyone needs to check out our horror segments, right? From last year. We had some
Mm-hmm.
really great recommendations, deep dives into so much that's out there. So I can't wait to revisit some of those. But I don't know. Maybe we'll do a surprise impromptu other one. I don't know. But okay, we're going to get to 28 years later. And this particular movie is a coming of age horror story as we see Spike cares for his mother, Isla, while dealing with the disappointment in his father, Jamie, and the dangers of the mainland filled with the infected, the alphas, and just other survivors. We meet Dr. Kelson, who is pivotal to the story, and just so much more. And so we're going to dig into all of that. But I had seen this at the theaters and I had a lot of questions. And then I just seen it recently again with it being on Netflix. So I would like to get your gut initial reaction to this installment.
So I watched it maybe a month ago, and then I watched it again yesterday, I believe. So my gut reaction's very different than I thought it was going to be because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie the first time, but I had a lot of questions. I unfortunately had a cold, so there were things that I missed that I was like, now everything's making like a lot more sense. So my gut reaction upon my watch from yesterday is that I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. There were parts where I was like genuinely scared, like the alpha scares the living daylights out of me, and
Yeah.
like I just I don't. I mean, everything's scary. I was able to focus on the quieter moments and able to I wasn't trying to figure out what was happening, and I thought like Spike helping his mom, although dumb, I know he's a child, but like I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I think it's admirable, and I'm also angry at everyone for not telling him like it's probably cancer. You don't know what that is, but like I think they needed to have been more honest with him. He's able to go out and kill humans
Exactly. Yeah.
essentially, but you
Yeah.
can't tell him his mom has this like incurable thing. So it's like weird where they protect in some ways and don't protect in others. The uninfected baby being born was shocking, and it kind of added some like emotional weight to it, I think, because now all of a sudden I'm now worried about this little thing, I think. And Dr. Kelson, I don't know what his deal is. I was talking to my husband about it, and I was like, how does he not go crazy? Like, he's by himself. He builds a bone temple. Like,
Might be
And like
crazy.
it's
No.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he is. But I'm not sold he's a good guy. I don't think he's a bad guy because he helped them out without really like blinking and but I don't know why he'd isolate himself like that, you know? And just there were a few moments where Isla was like a little clearer, like she wasn't having an episode or whatever.
Yeah.
And it made me like, I really wanted to see like a healthy her,
Hmm.
because like when Spiky is like finally sleeping
Oh,
and there's that like slow low or whatever they call them, like
yeah.
she kills the shit out of that
Yeah.
thing. And like I really want to see her like that. And I really like, she's like super sassy. Like she calls Eric the Swede like a dick for making a joke because he misunderstood, like that she misunderstood a thing. But I liked how she was like, even she could understand that he was like teasing them, you know. And I really liked her.
Yeah.
I think I just like the actress a lot, maybe too.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, I have like a lot of questions, like, which I guess is why we're gonna get two more movies. But
True. But I felt the same exact way. I had a lot of questions. Like, not every movie makes me feel like that, but this one, I'm like, wait, I'm so curious about so many things. But initially, I think to myself, and I do this with a lot of horror films, and especially this one, I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I torturing myself? I have so much anxiety, intensity, like in there. I feel it in my gut, and I hate the feeling that I have of being chased and are they going to get him and all that. I'm like, I hate this. Why am I doing this to myself? But
mm-hmm.
I keep going back to watch another horror film. So that's what I'm doing. And I had questions about the baby, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But I had questions about that. I had questions about their evolution and how everybody is not everybody, but all the alpha type are all they don't have their clothes on. So did they just take them all off? They're like, we don't want to be clothed anymore. And then why aren't they ravaged? Like, why do they all look whole? That was my
Mm-hmm.
biggest question because I thought, isn't how you get infected is by either getting some blood or saliva or something that gets on you and then or something bites you or whatever it is, but then
Mm-hmm.
why are
I think it's
it,
in the saliva.
yeah, so but if you're all torn apart because it gets you, then why are there a bunch of them walking around as whole people, right? It's not like they died like zombies do, right? Like zombies
Mm-hmm.
die, you die and then you become one. Well, that makes sense how you might be all whole because nothing's attacked you. So that's one of my big questions is how is there so many that look fine except for they look all crazy, right? Or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. And they walk around all crazy. So, and also,
Maybe the doctor.
I don't know. That was such a big question of mine. And then also about the infected baby, which I want to talk about that. I feel like through my second watch, I felt like I got some other answers and a lot of revelations that I didn't catch the first time. So I was glad. I was glad I got to revisit this movie. But I do want to talk about the baby because that is like huge. I mean, the scene completely threw me. What did you think about that initially? And then as you went through after you watch it, I know we start thinking in our brains like, okay, what could this mean? And talking to other
Mm-hmm.
people. So, what did you think of it initially? And have you come to any kind of conclusions about it?
So I thought, you know me, I'm always down for a zombie baby, I guess. And I was a little disappointed when her
Zombie
eyeballs were
baby.
clear.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. I had to say that because Sam is in one of our shorts. If you go onto YouTube and she'll say, "I was looking forward to a zombie baby." I could just hear you saying it. So sorry to interrupt you. Okay,
Yeah, no, you're
but
fine.
please go ahead.
Before I could even process the idea that I could have seen like a zombie baby, I like couldn't process what I was like looking at. I was like, but they're infected. How could she be pregnant? And then I was like, oh wait, they're people and they're not technically dead. So like, but then that opened up like Pandora's box of like, well, did she get bit pregnant? Did the alpha Did they do a little something something and a baby's born, birds and the bees? Because the way the alpha went after them in that little like in like the grate or whatever, like it seemed very like intentional to me
Yeah,
that it was like
I agree.
he was like, and I don't know. And I don't understand in most like apocalypse movies, if you're bit and you have a baby, it's probably going to be a zombie. Like I've never heard of the placenta doing anything. I guess it's a different world.
Yeah, right.
So it's got to play by their rules, but I think they'll be able to make a cure from it or something. So that might be nice for all those non-bit people. They can just go back to normal maybe.
So true. And that was what a revelation to me was when the doctor said, "Oh, the placenta, it's an amazing thing." I'm like, "Ooh, I didn't catch that the first time around."
Mhm.
And so I thought that that was and it was actually the doctor where I found a lot of the revelations. Like there was a lot of things that he said that I really paid attention to the second time around that I didn't have the first time around. But I thought all the things that you were thinking about too was like, "Wait, when did she become pregnant? Was she pregnant
Mhm.
and then she turned, or were they infected and then they had sex? And what's that when you're all rage, infected? I mean, what did that look like? I so want to know. So yes, that just sparks so many questions, and I really want to know what the answer is. And I don't know if the answer is out there. Like, have they talked about it, or will we find that out? I'm
Mhm.
sure it was probably something that we should be thinking about, and they're probably going to answer in the next two. But it's just, yeah, it just makes me so curious. All right. So now that we've talked about that shocking moment, let's dig a little deeper. What characters or story beats hit you the most? And did you notice any parallels with the other installments?
I did. So I like there's a lot of like familial like ties, I guess, or just that like the surviving people either are a family off the bat or they become like almost like a chosen family. There's a father and although they don't survive, like Frank doesn't survive, but there's the father and daughter in 28 days. There's a brother and sister in 28 weeks. Then
Right.
there's the mother and son
Mm.
in 28 years, and how in 28 years later we also meet like the Jimmies at the very end, and they seem to be obviously like a gang, which is like a chosen kind of family, I guess. Do you know why they're called the Jimmies?
I know it had to do with some, I don't know if it's a celebrity or a known person in the UK, and he was disgraced at some point.
Yeah, he was a pedophile, like one of the biggest.
Okay. I didn't know
Yep.
that part
Yep.
exactly, but I
there's
knew it
there's
was,
a
yeah.
Netflix documentary on it. It's
Oh,
like heartbreaking. It's a
wow.
really good doc though. And so I guess like the way that you could identify them is because I guess of how like the outfits that they were wearing, I guess were what like his name is Jimmy.
Oh, Seville?
Uh yep.
Oh. Why do you think that I know I read that they made it after, or that this person, but why? I wonder. Did you read anything about that? Like,
Yeah, so he was a huge like a children's like performer. So and he wasn't disgraced until like way after like the movie would have taken place. So he was like beloved by an entire nation. He was kind of like their like maybe like Bill Cosby, I guess.
mm,
And so yeah, so they probably would have idolized him because he was like a happy person like all of the time. So I think that's probably why. Because the outfits, I was like, are they being like Fat Boy Slim? Like I was trying to figure out
well, I
like it because
thought
it just looked like
didn't it have to tie
something.
into the Teletubbies too at the beginning
I
of
think I think
the
that was just like the song. Maybe they wore the different kinds of colors for the different Teletubbies. Maybe because I don't
yeah,
think they all wore the same a color suit. I
right.
never watched the Teletubbies though.
Me neither. I
Did your
just
boys?
no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I
I just know that that's how it started, and I thought maybe this how it ties up to the end.
So I also one of the stories that hit me the hardest on like it on the, like both of my watches, I think, was that how Isla was dying of something that probably would have been maybe curable if they would have caught it
Yeah,
early on,
yeah.
like in the before times. It was just like heartbreaking. And it's kind of reminded me a lot of like how Jim was put into a coma just before the start of the first film, just like another completely like he was hit by a car and he ended up probably surviving the apocalypse because of it. And just one thing I wanted to mention was I thought it was really hilarious that the Swede was explaining a lot of things to Spike and how he didn't know what a phone was and didn't know anything and was making fun of like the duck lip because
Yeah.
like like his girlfriend had the,
Oh my
and he
gosh.
was like, "Does she have a shellfish allergy?" Spiky.
That was hilarious. I
And
love
it's so
that.
innocent. Like you can't get
Yes.
mad at him. Like
No. Oh my
but
gosh.
also like I love that. Like I want to tell all my nieces and nephews to go up to be like, "Do you have an allergy?"
That was funny.
Anyway.
I that yeah. Since you just brought up Eric, I want to bring him up too because with him telling Spike about so many things that happen outside of this island and how they're all contained there and realizing that and knowing how they have people like basically watching the island with boats and all of that. That's revealing in itself, right? Because this is some news to Spike who doesn't know because I'm sure he's thinking, "Oh, here's the mainland. This is where everything happens," but then to know that this is just a piece of the outside world and there's so much more out there. So
Mhm.
I just thought that was interesting too, and like how Eric felt like such a, how he said he basically stumbled upon enlisting and here he is, there doing what he does. So, and Spike also, I think for me, one of the highlights was Spike. I love coming of age. I love seeing people change throughout. And it was interesting because you see him with Jamie when he goes to the mainland and he can't shoot anything. He cannot shoot anything to save his life and his dad's right there to back him up at every turn.
Mhm.
And and I thought it was interesting how they went back and how the father Jamie was boasting about him and how he didn't like it. He's like, "No, dad's not telling the story the way it really happened," and that bothered him. And then
Mhm.
when he does go back with his mom, he can shoot everything. That I just thought
Mhm.
that was just a really cool growth for us to see in him and in his maturity and just kind of, I don't know. It just really struck me. That was the part that really struck me there. With Isla, you had mentioned it with her being that mama bear and protecting her son. I love how we see it crawling toward them, and then all of a sudden they're both asleep and then they're both awake and you can't tell what happened and he looks at
Mhm.
it and then we're not sure and then she's like, "I don't know," and then when she goes over there then we see her flashback of what happened. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Mhm.
I love the way that they revealed that because I thought to myself, how did it get there? Did somebody else who would have come and kill it? But
Mhm.
so I thought it was pretty cool to see that it was her and seeing what she is capable of even though she is sick, because in the beginning I had no idea what she really had. I didn't even think it was cancer. I thought more it was more of a mental health issue that she was having. But yeah, so it was interesting to see all of that. And it was also how we have seen the infected evolve. I mean, that's like crazy from what we last saw. And the fact that there are different types of infected and how we see those, what are those called, the slow ones, are they called something,
Low slows
low
or slow
slows,
lows, something like that.
but that they're eating worms, so they're finding other
They're
ways.
starving.
Yeah, they're so big. How can they be starving, which is interesting, but
Well, I
yeah.
mean, they probably
Yeah,
wouldn't lose weight though, would they? I don't know what their metabolism's like. Probably not good.
I don't know, but they're eating worms. So to me, that means they're finding other ways to survive, which is kind of a good thing, right? Because you don't have to tear apart
But I
people
still
and
think
eat
we're
them,
number 1 on there.
probably.
On there. So I was thinking about how at the end of the first movie, we see that well, I guess they're just surviving on like wildlife, I guess. Because I was thinking how like they don't really eat in like the first movie, they don't really eat people. They just kind of like rip them apart. So that's why at the end they didn't really survive because like they weren't like eating anything. I don't know. Sorry, I just was working
Well,
that out in my head.
well, I'm curious too because when I said it, I said, "Oh, they're eating worms. They're finding other things to eat." And I think, "Wait, are they eating people? I mean, is
Yeah.
that their purpose or are they just doing that because of the rage and that's how they're tearing people apart? But do they need to eat them too? I'm a little
I
bit
don't think they eat the
confused.
people. It's kind of like a survival of like the smartest because like I feel like a person like a rage infected a person's just going to kind of get like curious one day and be like, "Can I make that?" Like I'm angry at that and then they just kind of like eat it or they're just like smart enough to eat it. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm really
This is fun
curious.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think they are evolving though. They have learned that if they don't eat, they're gonna like die. So
Yeah.
that's like an evolutionary,
Right.
yeah.
So that's what's so interesting to see is that we're seeing this evolution of
But I never like I didn't even like consider it like that until you just like brought that up. I just assumed in my head that they always ate because I had forgotten about the first movie, which I did watch very recently.
yeah.
But still though, I didn't even like consider that. So thank you.
You're
I'm gonna
welcome.
go tell Roger.
Well, I'm curious. See, that's the thing. We have all these
Mhm.
questions because we don't know this world entirely and we only get to see pieces of it and that's why we have so many questions and so I'm looking forward to the other films to hopefully answer some of these questions and I'm sure people out there have some questions. So please answer us if you can answer any of these questions that we do have. All right. Did you have any other points or themes that you wanted to talk about before we moved on to our rapid fire?
You just brought up the different kinds of infected, and I just wanted to talk about how the alphas seem to have a love of pulling the entire spine from like the body like it's a chicken wing. And I have a lot of questions about that because that's very like reminiscent of Predator. Is that the one that
Yeah,
does it?
I think
And
so.
I was trying to figure out maybe if there was like a maybe that guy was a really big fan of the movie or something, so he wants to be like cool or something, which I think is like a fun little like character trait. But I was like, that seems very unnecessary. Like at least the deer was dead before he did it. He seems to like do like the seems to like break their neck first and then do it, so at least they're not alive while he's like tugging.
Ah,
So
oh
he's
my
at least
gosh.
kind.
Yeah. Okay, wait, this is not involving the alpha, but I'm just curious
Yeah.
that I saw the second time, not the first time. And I'm sure
Mhm.
everybody else noticed this, it's just not me. But that one guy hanging when Jamie and Spike went into that, he had Jimmy on his
Mhm.
belly. I didn't
Yeah.
see that the first time though.
Oh.
I didn't. I did notice it till the second time that I watched it. I'm like, that's interesting that they have him hanging up there.
Well,
Go
whenever
ahead.
the Jimmies were like at the very end of the movie when they're in that like it's like a valley thing or whatever, they do the same thing to another infected. They like string her up and then do something with her.
Hmm.
Him,
True.
it I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Right.
But I just was like, "Oh, that why is that your calling card?"
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Exactly.
Whatever floats your boat.
So wait, I did forget to bring up the parallels because Jim is the first in 28 days later, and here we have Jimmy. So
Mhm.
there's right there some parallels. But in speaking about Jimmy, he was the little boy who survived in the beginning of the movie, and then it comes full circle at the end when we see the cross that he's wearing. So I thought that was, I remember when I saw that moment, I thought it was a cool way to circle back, bring him back in, and just kind of have this different element. Like it was kind of crazy, but I actually liked it because I think some people may have not been a fan of it. I felt they thought maybe it was disconnected a little bit, but I did appreciate that. What did you think about that? Did you have any thoughts on it?
I liked it. I thought the beginning was exactly how I kind of wanted it to start. Very like it kind of was like just how like the it was just like the beginning of the second movie, how they're in a house, they let
Yeah.
somebody in or
Yeah.
whatever. And I thought actually because I think it's like cuz the guy like the kid's name is Jimmy and then we meet a main character whose name is Jamie. And to me I thought like, "Oh, it's him, but he just changed his name like a little bit." So like I thought
Ah,
and then I think
that would
um
have been good.
at the very end Yeah, because I feel
I
like that's
thought,
like
I
it's a
thought,
plausible thing.
yes. And I thought, okay, this guy's going to come because why would they show that? Right. So we knew or
Mm-hmm.
we thought he was going to come. But then after they took us on the ride of everything they did, I totally forgot about him. And then, of course, here he comes. I'm like, oh, we knew he took the
Yeah.
cross that his dad had, or his dad. Was it his dad?
Yes.
Because I thought
Yes.
he said dad, but then it looked like a
Mm,
priest. So I was like, I'm
yeah.
very confused here, but okay.
Priests can have children, I think.
I thought you were like
Um,
married to God. I thought that was the whole
I think you
thing.
are, but I think pastors and preachers are
Well,
allowed to
I
have
know
like families.
I understand pastors and
Oh,
preachers, and maybe they are, but I thought he probably wasn't a priest. He probably was. I don't know. We could that I
I
guess
have
that's
no
a story for
idea.
something else, but
That's a different
yeah,
podcast.
that's a different podcast. But right now, anyway, I just wanted to say, yeah, oh, that's his father, and he took the cross that he had, and that's how we were able to tell who he was. So I thought
Mm.
that was a cool way to circle back.
I was gonna just bring up the actor is Jack O'Connell. I think
Oh,
he was Remick in
oh,
Sinners.
oh, wait,
Yeah.
it was actually Remick.
Mm-hmm.
I remember them saying he was in Sinners. Oh my God, so cool.
I love
Oh,
him.
that's right. I know. I love that. I love that tidbit.
He's great.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to our rapid fire questions. Okay, Sam, I'm going to ask you a question and then you're going to give me an answer. What comes to your mind? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What moment did you find the most revealing? Something that gave you insight into the story, the infected, or what might happen next?
I'm pretty excited that there's a baby that might be a cure for the rage virus. I think that's pretty fun. I think it'll be hopefully important moving forward.
Yes. And mine is those quiet moments that these rage infected are having. Because, one, when they got pregnant, was there some calmness somewhere in there? Right. That's my first thought. Because when she was giving birth, right after she had given birth, she was quiet, right? It took a few minutes until that rage came back and she reacted. And then the moment when they do hit them with morphine and it kind of slows them down again. So we see them having these moments of calmness or whatever you want to call it. And so that makes me kind of gives me hope or feel it's a little revealing. Also, when the doctor put iodine on himself as a way to deter or hide or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, I thought, whoa, that is so revealing. I think that's a totally cool thing. How did he figure that out? Right. Just like in the Walking Dead world, how everybody has to put walker guts on to not be smelled by the walkers, right? So it's interesting.
But what's worse? That's the question of the day. Walker guts or iodine?
That's a great question of the day, Sam. Whoa. Okay, what is it? What do you think?
I think walker guts are well, I don't know because like do I have what kind of access do I have to water? Cuz iodine's going to stain you orange. But is that less offensive than like guts?
What would you smear on you first? There's a bucket of walker guts and there's a bucket of iodine.
Well, are they 100% like the same effectiveness?
Yes.
Probably well, iodine because I could just pour it over my head and that would cover me entirely. Walker guts would take a bit. I'm going to do both.
I would do iodine because in those walker guts, you're getting all these pieces and it just would make me too, it feels so real that this was a person. I was putting them on
Oh.
me and their guts and their pieces and their skin and all that stuff. So I'm sorry, iodine. It's clear. It's whatever it is. So I would do it. I love it. I love our impromptu question of the day. Thank you, Sam. And friends out there, you want to answer, you can. You can leave it in the comments or you can give us a call. All of our contact information is in the show notes. Or you can go to screensandfocus.com and get to us through our social media links through there too. All right. So, what was your favorite moment?
Ooh, when Jamie and Spike were running away from the alpha because it was so like tense And I just really enjoyed that for some reason. And it was really pretty because you could just see like the northern lights. So it was this really like fun juxtaposition of like this beautiful backdrop but this horrifying like I don't know, like run as fast as you can. I might take my chances in the water and swim because the alpha maybe not know how to do that, but then maybe I don't know. And
I
I also got really angry at them for not like I don't know that I would have relaxed and walked normally until I was at home.
I
Like they
know.
were just casually like dupe the duping. I'm always thinking that something is chasing me in that world because something
Right.
always is chasing
Yeah.
you. And I don't know how much it would have really mattered in the end, like at the end, because like that thing was running incredibly fast, like a super athlete. But
Okay.
mm,
Though that was one of the moments where I said, "Why am I doing this to myself?" Because I can't take it. One, I can't take it because that thing, that's eyes and it's chasing you. I like scares me so bad. And I'm like, and you're right. It's like, why are you guys relaxing? Get going. It's gonna get
mm-hmm.
you. I'm like, oh my God, why do I do this to myself? But I love that moment. I love that you picked that moment. I would think for me, I loved all those moments, but there's something to me about Spike maturing and coming of age. And when he puts the baby, well, we don't see him do that, but he gives them the baby and he ventures back off, and he's smart enough to figure out what they might do, and he's one step ahead, and he's figured it out, and he's brave enough and he's mature enough to do all of this. I was just so impressed with his growth, and just leaving his father the note and what he named the baby and just all of that. I just thought it was such, I don't know. It was like, oh my gosh, that was such a cool moment. So I think that would be my favorite moment. All right. Go ahead.
The
What were you saying?
security is like not that great though, because like he just like walked up in there and like no one
That's
saw
true.
him.
That's true. Maybe he knows. Like maybe he knows when a shift changes.
Yeah,
Maybe
probably.
he just you're right. Like how did they not see
But I
him?
feel
Yeah.
like it's like the hubris of man to think like, well, we have this like waterway that you know is
Right.
gonna protect us like at all costs, but
Yeah.
clearly not because the alpha just like he was knocking on your door.
Yeah.
He was in it. And why didn't they use that big old the big like harpoon like right off the bat? Like it's not like they had to wait like for
Right.
him to be like I don't know
Yeah.
because he got too close.
He did.
I was like sweating.
Yeah. All right. If you had to pick one scene to show someone who hasn't seen the franchise, which would it be?
I think it would probably be the whole like it's probably like 20 minutes of the movie where Spike and Jamie where they go into like into the forest and they like he like learns how to like shoot and things like that. I just think from that until like they're on like the water bridge is just kind of like the like you get like the tone of the movie a little
Yeah.
bit. Like you're going to have those like quiet moments where there's like fun, like nice conversation between a dad and a son,
Yeah.
and then in like the chaos it's like scary
Yeah.
and you get to see like how they have evolved and how the infected are doing what they're doing, which is terrifying.
Yeah. So for me, it would be the scene on the bus, meaning if the birth was included, that's fine. But really, it was when Alpha got Eric, did that with his head, and then went chasing after them. They ran. He goes and sees the woman that just gave birth, and then he goes chasing after them, and that bus scene of them running, and Spike's all, get off the bus, mom, get off the bus, and they get off the bus and it's after him and it's on their heels, and then whoop, right then that arrow from the doctor goes right into Alpha and stops him in his tracks. So did it stop him in his tracks or did it slow him down? I don't know, but it feels like it
No,
stopped.
he stopped
Yeah.
completely
Okay.
because he knelt down a lot
Yeah.
like beside him and I thought you're a little too close, my guy. I don't
Oh my
mm-mm.
gosh. That's true. When he gets really like close to him, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is
And he's
so
like completely
close.
naked, so like You're like right by it, dude.
He does have that iodine on him, though. I don't know if
I
that's a thing.
guess, but I still
Yeah.
feel like I
Yeah.
unless he's like walked amongst them, which he maybe he has, I don't know that I'd trust it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just thought that that was such a critical moment because we learned a lot. We got introduced to the doctor. And I just think that that would have been a great way for someone to see a piece of this and not know anything else, but just be scared,
Mm-hmm.
running, and then there kind of be a relief of some sort because of being safe for a few minutes or however long it is. So that's what I would share. All right. What are you looking forward to in let's see. Okay, so before we close, let's think ahead and what are you most excited to see in the next films?
I am excited to see like more of this world though. I'm curious to see what the Jimmies have been up to. I'm curious to see what Jim's have been up to. Jim and his people have been up to because he's back, I heard.
I think he
And
might be
I'm
back for the third one. I think he's
oh, is it the third one?
I now I don't know this for sure, but I think he's might have a cameo in the second one or maybe
Okay.
end or something and I think he's supposed to be in the third one. That's what I
Either way
heard. I
though.
don't know. I haven't checked my info recently, but that's what I have thought. That's what I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see. I mean, I'm just excited that he's back in general. I'm excited to see how Spike fits in with everybody at the Jimmys because he's going to have problems probably with their I don't even know what, just their stuff because they're a little kind of like cuckoo bananas maybe because they were children and
Yeah.
they're not going to have all their morals and ethics are going to be
Right.
skewed and it's going to be he and Spike's not used to like seeing like the infected so he's going to look at them more as people whereas the Jimmies have been living amongst them for 28 years
Mhm.
and and to them they're not people anymore because they're not technically they
Yeah.
are but
Yeah.
if I had to run for my life constantly, I don't think I would care much what happened to that thing that was chasing me.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to see a little more of how like the Jimmys got started. I'm excited to see like how Jimmy grew up, maybe to see what happened. That's what I'm excited about.
Well, that's some good things to be excited about. So, I saw the trailer. I saw a
Mhm.
trailer. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for the next
Uh huh.
one. And I think again, what struck me was how the doctor got so close to the alpha and looks like he touches him on the shoulder. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing? How is
Mm-mm.
that possible? But then maybe he has morphine in him, right? And that he's able to do that. Maybe he's done that before. So that like scared me. But then it's also like, oh, I can't wait to see that. I want to see what happens. I'm curious to see what happens with Spike. Does this Jamie come and see him or try and connect with him? I'm curious to know if that happens. With the Jimmies, also, why do I get, I don't know again if I heard this incorrect or if I did. I don't know that they're going to be the highlight of this movie. I don't know if they are or not. So we'll see. I know we're going to get to see the doctor and we're going to get to see Spike. Those are the two
Mm-hmm.
people I know that and the alphas. So I don't know. And I can't wait to see Jim. I can't wait to see him. I think that'll be fun no matter when we see him. It'll be good to see. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to learning more about the questions that we have here. So, it'll be good. All right. Okay, that's it. That's our wrap up of 28 years later. If you want more on this whole franchise, we did cover 28 days later and 28 weeks later. I'll hopefully put the link to that in the show notes of this. So, and we can't wait for the next one, Bone Temple. What's the name of the second one? 28 later. I think it's this one's Bone Temple, right? Or is it the next one called Bone
I think
Temple?
it's just 28 years later, and
28
then
years
it's
later,
28 years later, the Bone
the Bone
Temple,
Temple. Okay.
I think.
So, yeah, excited. All right. Friends, come back if we hopefully we'll be able to cover that one, Sam, and if we do,
I
please
think
come
so.
back. Please come back. I think it's supposed to be January or at least at
It
the beginning of
is,
the
which
year.
is
So,
usually not a good time for movies to be out. That's like a dead time.
yeah.
I think that was the plan, which is
Yeah.
fine, but
Yeah. Well, we'll be
I don't
here.
know.
We'll
Yep.
be watching.
I'll watch.
Yeah.
From the safety of my home, though.
Yeah.
I don't go to the movies for horror movies because I squeak and make noises. Because I get scared in like everyday life. Like someone, I jump all the time. So like, imagine me in a horror movie. I'm awful.
When I watched the latest Daryl Dixon and when that walker came out of the water, I want to tell you this. I
Oh, I
screamed.
jumped.
I screamed. I'm like, ah! And my son's girlfriend screamed in the other room because she heard me scream. She had no idea why I was screaming. She totally screamed after me. I'm like,
She got
yeah,
scared.
she screamed. It was so funny. And I laughed out loud. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just watching The Walking Dead.
That's amazing.
So,
Sorry, I've one complaint
okay, go ahead.
about that show. Is that Roberto's first time out in the world? Because he's just like doop de dooping in the water. Like he doesn't have to be afraid of like I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't
Or
know. Maybe
I
he's
think it
just,
was well,
yeah.
it was more that he didn't try and like kill the walker. He was just like afraid of it.
Do you think?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just feel like if we're 20 years in the apocalypse and you're still alive, you shouldn't be afraid of walkers. But maybe they're in like a maybe Los Salas or whatever it is, just really cushy.
It could be. Sometimes people are pretty
Yeah,
protected until they go out in the world and have to really
I
face them.
guess.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to
Anyway,
see him in action the rest of the season. All right, Sam, tell me, what TV or movie recommendations do you have?
so I've been watching a lot of TV. I've been watching a Peacemaker, which is in the second season on HBO. I just started watching The Wire, which is not a new show, but I finished The Sopranos a couple weeks ago, so I'm just kind of like
Oh,
now
you
my mom.
did.
Oh my, so good. Thoughts and
I
feelings. Have you seen it?
No, because remember we had talked about this. I started to sort of watch
That's
it and then I
right. That's
didn't
right.
go back. And so I knew
You
you had
have to, Diana. It's
started.
so
Okay.
good.
Okay.
It's so The Sopranos was my dad's favorite show. The Wire was one of my mom's. So now I'm just kind of so it's like
Ah,
it's kind of fun.
yeah.
But my dad like really enjoyed the show. And then I'm watching Only Murders in the Building, which is on Hulu. It's really good. It's I just love it. Are you watching?
I started to, but I'm so behind. I am going to watch it because I love it. I'm a big fan of Only Murders
Yeah.
in the Building, and I love all the acting. I just think it's so smartly written. So I'm
Oh, it
looking
is.
forward. I'm looking forward to watching this season. I'm just only on episode 2 or something like that. So
It gets
yeah,
so good.
I can't wait.
And then and then we just finished watching Alien Earth, which is also on Hulu. It takes place in the alien world and it's a prequel of
Yeah,
some sort.
it is. It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was enjoyable, but not much it we had read a review earlier that said if you're into the movie Alien, you're going to love the show. And my husband loves the movie
I
Alien. It's
do
like one of his
too. Yeah.
favorites. And it's a really good show. I'm not hating it, but I don't think you can say that it's much of an alien. It doesn't feel alien to him or to me, really. I'm still really enjoying the show. I just don't know what they were talking about.
I have seen everything but the finale,
Hmm.
and I like it, but
Hmm.
I am a huge Alien and Aliens fan. Like I
Hmm.
love especially the first couple. And yes, it has to do with the alien, but it's just it doesn't have the same thing. Like I'm with you. I like it, but
Hmm.
that's it. I like it, right? Where the
Yep.
movies, I love those movies. They're so good. So there is a difference. So to me too.
I do hope it gets like another. I hope we get to see like more of it because it's an interesting story.
Yeah.
Boy Cavalier is gonna get his eventually. I hope he's got to get his. A little twerp. Put on some socks and some shoes. Like I
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, yeah. You need
ugh,
those. You need
I
that.
hate
Yeah.
feet. Ugh.
Oh.
Anyway, oh, I hate feet, and I'm like, this man is like he's an ape. He's where evolution's gonna start, and then we're gonna go from there. What are you watching?
I am watching well, I finished it because and I'm late to the game. From. Had you watched that show From?
I want to, but I don't think. What's it
It's
on?
on MGM, which you can get through
Yeah,
Epix.
we don't have that.
I know. I
Um,
Okay, what's funny is that it's I got it through Prime. What happened is the first 2 seasons were free for some reason. I watched the first 2 seasons and then I couldn't watch anymore. I was so mad cuz season 3 was coming. I'm like, "Gosh darn it." And then somebody in my household accidentally put a month of Epics, and Epics is MGM. And I let it go, and I'm like, hey, I got a free month. I'm watching From season 3. So I watched From season 3. It is so freaking scary. Like, it is scary. Like, I love it. But it's like, I want to binge it because I'm so scared. But then as soon as because it has to do with these creatures, monsters that
I
come
want to
out at
watch it.
night. And yeah,
Oh
and then so when I'm ready to go to bed, I have to lock the door and let the dog out. I have to
no.
put the light on, make sure nothing's out
Mm.
there, let my dog out and come back. I'm like, nobody attack my dog, please. But that's how scared I get, because I'm like, oh my God, that's so scary.
That's why I want to watch it
It's
because
so
I
good.
hear that.
It's
Yeah.
so good. I love it. So I highly recommend that. All right. What movies are you watching, Sam?
So I just watched Superman for the first time. It's on HBO Max. And then taking a different turn, I've been watching a couple of like documentaries. So it's AKA Charlie Sheen. It's just him talking about his entire life. We owe that man sort of an apology, is what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say we owe him like a big one, but we owe him an apology because when he was going through his mental breakdown, we all were laughing at him and like talking about Tiger Blood like it was like hilarious. We didn't understand at the time. That's no excuse because it, but still though. So like I feel bad because he talks about everything. That man has nothing to hide, and I kind of like him for it, I think. And then another one is Unknown Number. It's like a catfishing story, I think. It is bonkers, totally insane. Do you know anything about it?
No.
So this girl was terrorized for a couple of years from this
I think I did
what she
hear
thought was a
about
person.
it. Yes, I did hear about this.
It's bonkers. It's nuts.
I heard that.
Like so much anger. So much anger.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What are you watching?
Well, I do want to add, I do have another TV show. I do want to add, which I recommended to you, is Invasion. It is on season 3 and it's on Apple TV Plus. And it's a little bit of a slow burn at first, but stick with it. It's so good. I think it's so good. I really like I prefer it to Alien Earth. I just do. There's something about it. I like the characters. There's something about these characters that I really like. So I recommend that. But for movies, I wanted to recommend movies that can get you into the season of October. And so all of these I've seen previously, but I just wanted to bring them up. And one of them I know that you saw because you had told me about it, is Final Destination Bloodlines. So I just like 2 months ago, maybe I saw it, but I know it was way after you had seen it, but I enjoyed it. I hadn't seen these movies in a really long time, but I knew this movie was important to the whole franchise, and it was really well done, and it was fun to watch. So I appreciate it. Yeah.
Like it's not trying to be anything other than just
what it is.
What it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So
the other day I was driving. So I've been driving a little bit, which is big for my knee because like I've been like afraid to do that. And I was driving up a hill, and there was like a worker's truck in front of me, and it had like stuff in it, and it had these like little green poles that were sticking out, and I gave it a really wide berth because I was like, I'm not going to get final destination after I've finally been able to drive after 4 months.
Right.
And I would like catch myself speeding, like no, back up. You got to give it, because I was trying to figure out, I was like, it's probably like 6 foot, so it'll go down, and then I'll be able to like drive around it. That movie has shaped, I think, how a lot of people drive.
Not just driving, household things too. Every time I put my garbage disposal on, that's what I always think about, right? Not getting my hands too close. And sometimes I want to like shove things in there, and I'm like, yeah. So, oh man, it's kind of crazy. I also want to say Weapons is out now on streaming, and I recommend that. I think it's a good watch. It's not like my favorite movie, but I think it's a good watch. So I like it. And then I wanted to say Sinners, please go watch it. It's such a good movie, and it is perfect for this month, and that's probably one of my top horrors this year, so I would highly recommend that. And just last night I watched Until Dawn on Netflix. It's so funny, my sons all watch it. So we watched it, me and my husband. Do you know, we kind of fell asleep during it, and we woke back up and watched it. I'm like, why did he make us watch this movie? Yes, it's a horror, Is it watchable? Kind of, but you might fall asleep, you know? So, but we watched till the end. All right. So that did you watch it, Sam? Because you're reacting like you did.
No, but it
Yeah.
it was on my list. It still is on my list if I'm honest with you,
Okay.
but
You can
we
skip
sort
it
of
if you want. Okay.
no, I
That's what
don't
I'm
want
just
to
saying.
though. I
Okay.
sort of have a love for bad horror movies.
It's not, it's just, it's not that it's so horrible or so, it's just not exciting, right?
Yeah.
it's just there. That's what this is. So
Okay.
it's
It's boring.
yeah, even though people are getting killed and there's gore stuff, but
That could be
it's
boring though.
yeah, it's just not, it wasn't entertaining, right? That's what it is. But it's not like it's the worst movie ever made. So know that. So it may not check your boxes. I don't know, one way or another. We'll see. But
I'll
anyway,
watch it and then I'll let you know.
yeah. Okay. That's fair. All right. Well, those are our recommendations. We hope we've given you something to watch. Sam, thank you so much for joining me today and for your TV and movie recommendations.
Thank you so much as always for having me. This was a delight.
It truly was. It's my pleasure having you here and can't wait for you to join me again. Of course, we're going to be back for Stranger Things, so make sure you tune in for that cuz we are both so excited about it.
I'm not
We
ready.
I know. I know. I know. All right.
I don't know,
Yeah.
like if someone does die, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to talk about it. I'll be like,
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started. I didn't even think about
okay,
that
I won't.
far.
Okay.
All right. Friends out there, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so grateful that you joined us, and we hope that we said something that gave you some insight, chuckle, some inspiration. Remember to follow Screens in Focus, and you can get to us at screensinfocus.com. Remember to keep watching, keep exploring, and keep those screens in focus. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.